Okay, 3, 2.
Atomic battery power. Turbine to speed. Roger. Ready to move out.
Bell&Company.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is another edition of Bell&Company. I am the MarioJBell. I think the one and only. I don't know. There might be more. But as far as I know, I'm it. And this is Bell&Company Radio on IntellectualRadio.com, as well as several other podcasting sites and YouTube. People are probably watching us live on YouTube, I think. I hope so. And then you can obviously listen live on IntellectualRadio.com. So I've been forgetting to get that out right at the beginning. So that's where, in case they're just tuning in on one thing, they could look for us on another platform. But we're all over the internet. All you got to do is type in Bell&Company or MarioJBell, and you'll find us somewhere. But anyway, I also want to welcome my wonderful co-host here. One of them is, of course, Libby. Hey, Libby. Welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Good. I'll tell you what. I'm actually way better than I was in July. I got some good news. I'll get to that in a second. And then I don't want to forget to mention Joe. Hey, Joe Brunker. How are you?
Hey, doing well.
And then, of course, we have our wonderful guest sitting there who's been very patient and wondering what the heck's going on with all this technical stuff.
We're sorry.
Hi, this is Mary. Hi, Mary. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
And your last name is spelled a little different, but sounds real simple. Go ahead to say your last name.
Sunday.
Sunday. It's spelled a little different way, but glad to have you here. And again, Joe knows a lot of people that we've been having on the show, and we'll add you to the list, of course. But didn't you worked with Joe, right?
I have, a couple of times actually.
Yeah, so that's cool.
I first met you through Chris, right? With Brojack, Chris Ferguson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
Jack the Acquaintance.
I
was like,
yeah, I
"Who's
know
Chris?"
Jack the Acquaintance.
It's like one big happy family in the entertainment business, and especially in Chicago.
Yeah, you definitely get to meet a lot of people through the process of it. I don't know, definitely.
And you
phenomenal
probably
photographer.
You obviously meet a bunch of bands. You do all kinds of small, large, right? Like the house garage bands, quote unquote, into the big venues.
Yes, definitely. Big and small. I have done it at this point, which is really crazy. Did not think I'd be here when I first started, maybe like 4 years ago.
What got you into it?
I was always like very passionate about photography.
Yeah.
But I, just did not push that extra step to.
Oh, and I should mention, I almost forgot to mention the name. So the name of your photography business.
Yes, it is Vacant Era Photography. Usually I just go by that. I'm not a big fan of using my name.
So everybody just knows you by Mary, maybe, in the business now.
Yeah,
Mary,
sure.
the band photographer.
Yeah, I'm just finding out it's Sunday. I thought it was Sun.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Whatever you want, it's fine.
Yeah, like I said,
No, I like Sunday better. That's cool.
It's a unique spelling of it. It's obviously a name people will remember. And I like that. I was looking at on your look up a little bit about you, and I saw that. I'm like, wow, what a unique name. How'd you come up with the name for your company?
So it's actually a play on the song Blank Generation by Richard Hell and the Voidoids.
I've heard of it.
Libby knows.
Yeah, I really love that song. I was like, I kind of want to incorporate that into the name, but just kind of change some of the words a little bit and feel like it has kind of.
It's a gamble when you get a face.
Yeah, it's a.
Nice.
Kind of has the same meaning behind it, just different words.
I wouldn't have known that reference, but now I do. Now I'm thinking about putting two and two together. That's pretty cool. I like the logo itself. That's what interested me. How you did the logo.
Yeah, you put a lot into your brand, and you've done really well with it. I've loved every time we've worked with you because I always know we're gonna get good photography. Like especially great action shots. You always just have the perfect angle for what you're going after, and it's solid.
Thank you.
When you, like, for instance, like to get yourself out there, or did you just? I guess let's talk about how you got into the business. Obviously, it's business of photography. Did for instance, Joe? How did Joe find out about you?
Yeah.
How'd you find out about me, Joe?
Well, my friend Jack the Acquaintance. He was my old roommate, Chris Ferguson, which I want to get on here in the next few months, actually, just to promote and help get his music out there and a little bit of our little acoustic duo out there. But he was like, yeah, I hired this girl named Mary to take photos for us at Ballydoyle. And
Okay.
so she ended up coming and taking a couple shots. And then I was like, well, I'm going to tell my bandmates about her because she's really good. Like, so then we finally got her out to Rock House, I believe was our first show.
Yeah.
with you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really cool.
So let me be clear. You don't necessarily work for like the venues. You work for the band specifically then?
It depends. Most of the time, if I'm being hired, yes, it's from the band specifically. I also work for a couple of different music publications.
Like
Oh,
the dying
not the
scene?
venues though. Not the
Not
bars
the
and
venues,
stuff. Okay.
no.
Is
Okay.
the dying scene a publication necessarily?
It is.
Okay.
It's like an online music blog
Yeah, 'cause
publication.
I've seen a lot of pictures. I didn't know there was more to it. That's really cool.
What was it called?
They're Dying Scene.
Oh, got
So
it.
Dying Scene is global right now, but we're all volunteers, and it's mostly just like punk rock music, advertising for that, helping people discover new bands, small, large.
You've got some
We cover
great
it
teammates
all.
on there.
We do. We have a lot of people in Chicago right now, and
Goldberg, right?
yes.
She's good.
Meredith.
Yeah, she's fun. I played softball with her.
Oh yeah,
So-
they do the punk rock softball stuff too.
So you are, but well, you probably know, well, maybe you do, maybe you don't. The guys from Rebel Radio, actually, Scott Davidson. I worked with him too. He's Rebel. Well, they had punk music, but mostly it's heavy metal now. They used to have punk at night. Does that ring a bell? Because I know. Oh, really? Because I mean, he's all over.
They're more
the place.
northern Illinois. Yeah,
But
a
the
lot of times.
station is, but he's on the internet. He's pretty well known worldwide as well. But again, heavy metal music. But a lot of venues he plays at because he plays in a couple of bands. So you probably photograph. You know, a guy named Gene Ambo, I think, is a guy that's out there. He's pretty well known too, at least in the Chicago area. Anyway, but yeah, Scott, I thought I might have run into Scott because he's at all these. He's usually the MC a lot of the venues for the shows. You know, like he knows the band because he's on this radio station. He ends up running the whole deal.
It's very possible I might have seen him in passing.
Okay, I
She's
just thought
definitely
you
been
would.
to a lot of shows.
Yes.
Yeah, you probably long blonde hair, long beard. Is a biker, so he wears like the
There's
leather jackets
a
and
lot
stuff.
of people at the shows I go to.
Yeah, you know what? That's not
Wait,
helping.
what? Long
That's not
hair,
helping at all.
jacket.
Okay. Anyway, I just thought maybe because, but again, that's only mainly Chicago.
Did he have a bandana?
Yeah, he's got a bandana, right? Okay, sorry, you're right. That's kind of. I'll show you a picture. But anyway, but you travel around then, right? You're not just in the Chicago area doing stuff.
It's mostly Chicago area. I've gone to like neighboring states like Indiana and Wisconsin for shooting some shows. Really, if it's a good show, like I'll go anywhere. You know,
That's what you were saying before we get on. It's not like you're just based. Hey, if you're not a band in Chicago, I can't, photograph you. You'd be willing to
Right.
go. Sounds like
Yeah.
anywhere in the Midwest at least.
yeah, definitely.
How the heck was Emil and the Sniffers?
Oh, that was such an amazing show.
The sniffer.
Oh my!
Yes.
One of the best
It's kind of
punk
fun. I
bands
was
out
like
there.
listening to them on my way here tonight too, and I'm like, yeah, I can't wait to see them again. Hopefully they come by.
My gosh, they're so good.
What is that? What are we talking about?
It's
They're an Australian punk rock band.
but they have like classic rock and blues riffs in a lot of their songs too.
And they're
so it's
playing
really-
somewhere tonight? Is that what we're
Not
talking
tonight, no.
Oh, Okay.
I was listening to them on my way here
Oh,
tonight.
gotcha.
The front woman is like she's a force.
Yeah.
Like crazy good. Like one of my favorite front people in the like entire industry. Like,
Very high energy.
You have photographed them, or you're going
Yeah,
to?
that was a few years ago at the Vic Theater.
Oh, everybody from
Oh,
Chicago
I've been
knows
there
the
a
big.
million times.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. You're from Chicago.
Bob Villain opened for them, who I actually just photographed him again last week at Subterranean, and he's also really amazing.
Sub
he
T
was
is a cool venue.
he was in the area, in Chicago area.
Yeah,
I missed that.
you did.
Wow, I didn't hear about that one at all. I know there's a movie coming out about him. Like I think it's coming out in like next month, and it's like his whole life story. And Joan
Yeah.
Baez is in it with him. But I didn't know he's still. I didn't even think he was still touring. I guess he is.
Yeah, this was just last week. He's touring with Jigsaw Youth, who I've been obsessed with for like the last couple of years now, and everyone should know about them. So
Yeah.
not only look up
Jigsaw Youth.
Jigsaw
Cool.
Youth.
Yeah, say it again real loud. Okay.
Jigsaw Youth.
Jigsaw Youth.
Should everybody know about them?
They definitely should.
Who were they again?
Jigsaw Youth.
Oh,
What are we getting free plugs here for that? That's funny. But
they better pay us.
but you got to back up. You were photographing Bob Dylan. That's pretty
No,
awesome.
not Bob Dylan. Bob Villain.
Oh, Villain! I'm thinking the whole time you're saying Bob
Same guy,
Dylan.
same guy.
You know what? That's what I'm like. That's why I said there's a movie coming about.
No.
It's like
Oh.
Garth Brooks' alter
All right,
ego.
just
Like
erase
Bob
all
Dylan,
that.
Bob Dylan.
On the best of, we're going to erase that whole part. I swear you were saying Bob Dylan. Got it. Okay. Now I get you. But pretty awesome stuff. It doesn't matter. You're downtown at the Vic Theater. That's pretty awesome right there because that's a pretty legendary.
She does Riot Fest pretty much a lot too. Haven't you done like the past like?
Past 3 years, I've done Riot Fest.
That's wicked.
It's a lot. It's
That's
definitely
a lot of band.
It's a lot of band. It's like a year's worth of bands in like one day.
Do you have like
It's
good
like-
break space or good places to keep your gear? Since
Yes,
you're with a
there is a press area where we get to kind of chill
Chill
out
out.
at and do some work.
That's cool at least, you know,
Well-
because I was like worried that photographers are out there all willy nilly carrying all their gear. Like,
Well, are you like for that one? Probably the event hired you for that, right? Or each individual
This
band?
one was through Dying Scene.
Okay.
Yeah, so through the press.
Okay. Gotcha.
what other press organizations do you work with?
I have worked with Rock to Beat, which is also Chicago based. They do a lot of like Latin rock kind
Ooh.
of stuff too.
Very nice.
And more recently, I started working with Concert Crap, which is also like nationwide. They do a lot of concert ticket giveaways. I highly recommend looking them up on Instagram so you could get a part of that.
We'll probably do that
That's pretty cool.
when I'm listening back to this and remember to look it up.
You're like, oh,
Concert
yeah.
Crab,
Jigsaw Youth.
Jigsaw Youth.
Yeah, that's another one. And again, not Bob Dylan,
Not
Bob.
Dylan.
Villain. I can't believe I screwed that up. I swear you said Bob Dylan. Anyway,
That
So-
movie does look good though. I'll give you that.
yeah. Anyway, that's real. That there is a movie coming out about Bob Dylan and Joan Baez is in it. There we go.
He's got a great voice, I'll tell you.
That's what he sounds like. The actor playing him, Timothy, however you say his last name, Shamalama, whatever.
Shamalama Dig Dog.
I've seen a lot of his the previews for this movie, and that's exactly how he sounds. Like, hey, baby, because I guess he dated Joan Baez. I didn't even know that. But anyway,
Wow.
so that's coming out. But I don't know who photographs for him. I'm sure he's got his own people too. So let's talk about like how you got into doing this. Like, what got you started? Is this a grammar school, high school thing, or?
You got an offer or something? Was that what it was? Or like did
I
you
was
just
asked,
start the
yeah.
company?
By someone like really close to me. Asked me, he was like a singer-songwriter, asked me if I could do photos for him. At that point, I was just doing stuff on my phone. I'm like, okay, yeah. And it didn't take a lot of convincing for me to go ahead and buy an actual camera. It was like a COVID purchase and needed something to do anyway.
Which band did you start for?
I started with Daniel Isaacs.
Jesus Coyote?
It was before Jesus Coyote was like an actual.
He's
Yes.
Daniel is a brilliant musician.
He really
he's a great
is.
performer too.
Yes,
Yeah.
great musician, great writer, and so I did some photos for him, and then just kind of that's how I started, was just doing more stuff like that for fun. Followed him at like any kind of bars he was playing at. I had a lot of friends at the time who were all in bands, so I would just like do that for funsies. Do
So
wherever
this
there
is-
are like Invisible Cartoons is another great band.
Oh, killer. Ryan Worthy is an awesome bassist. And
What's the name? What's that name?
Invisible Cartoons.
Invisible Cartoons. I
They're-
love these band names.
Really good energy.
Yes,
I've
they're very
watched.
fun.
Again, this wasn't something that you've been doing since like you were a little kid or in high school or something. This is more of a
No.
recent.
I did take like, a digital photography class in high school and then like a film one in college, but that was it.
What college were you at?
We're a university.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
It's a cool school.
I always wanted to kind of like minor in photography or something like that, but just never played out that way.
Well, now there's so many places to go, and you don't need to travel really. I mean, you could just be based in Chicago. I mean, could be definitely full time. I mean, are you doing it all? This is your full time
This
thing?
is like my side gig.
Okay.
I would do it full time if I could, but unfortunately it does not pay the bills.
Are you doing something that's related to photography, or it's totally different?
Oh, totally different. I work in healthcare.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, well, this is a good therapy for you.
That
Then.
should pay the
Yes.
bills.
That will pay the
bills.
bills. I know that. I'm sure you pay pretty well in that business. But no photographing the patients there or anybody. No, that's all strict. Right, no practice from the day job. That's for sure. That's pretty cool. I mean, the photography business. There's so many people that are doing it, but they're not necessarily, tied in with a good group of, like, for instance, in your, niche bands. There's like wedding. I know a lot of wedding photographers.
Mhm.
God, there's like 800 of those. especially
Wedding
in Chicago.
photographers make some bank.
Yeah,
They do,
do.
and there's a lot of them, is what I'm saying. So, but you got kind of a little niche there with going to the venues. So, I mean, is there a one that you like more than another one, or it just doesn't matter to you in terms of where you've been photographer
Places
for?
where
Yeah.
I shoot at. It doesn't really matter to me all that much. I really like shooting at the metro. Places that have really nice lighting, I am a fan of.
Oh,
Rock House was good for that. You
Rock
got
House
some
had-
killer shots.
Thank you. Yeah, they have some good lighting. Some of like the really smaller dive bar kind of venues.
The house,
Those are House Pub, Burlington.
Valley.
What about where do you work again, Joe? I forgot.
Oh, Bottom Lounge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bottom Lounge.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I have been there. I do enjoy Bottom Lounge.
It's fun. I just started security there, and
I was gonna say I didn't know you worked there.
I mostly just break up fights at the weddings upstairs.
Nice.
And then I babysit them the rest of the night. With my
He's not even at the bar. He's upstairs in the event hall.
Yeah, no, like nobody causes trouble at the concert. It's the people at the weddings that are getting all the free alcohol.
That's kinda funny.
I believe that. Yeah, definitely. Like the ones with not so great lighting. Not a big fan to shoot at, but I will. Like, I like the challenge. I'll make it work.
I'm trying to picture. I mean, they have like the big floodlights. That's not like this, but it's still kind of dim lighting, though, right? I mean, it's not like really bright like a studio like this.
Mhm,
A lot of them have
exactly.
upgraded to LED. A lot of
Oh,
times.
so it is brighter
A
now.
little bit sometimes.
I guess. Well, no, but I mean, it's still like red and blue and like flashing lights. Is that what you like, or maybe not? I don't know.
I don't like the red lights. That usually just kind of washes people out.
Yeah,
in terms
it
of,
does.
like taking a photo, and it's really hard to capture that.
That makes sense.
Any like concert photographer will tell you like their worst enemy is red lights.
Is red lights?
Yes.
Because boy, there's a lot of them too. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, it looks cool when you're like just an audience watching, but like to photograph it, it's like awful.
I
Not
can't
good.
imagine you having like a day of red lights. Every light you stop at on the street is a red
You're
light.
like,
and
"Damn
then you
it."
get there and the person running the lights is using a lot of red.
It's not those kind of red lights. It's like for effects.
Oh, I know.
though,
I'm
you know.
joking.
Anyway, but yeah, I guess that would. So I mean, you have to be prepared kind of on the fly. I mean, I don't know if you have like your own rig that has like the lights connected to or whatever. If you set up,
No.
nope.
I just have my camera.
You just use the existing, which is, hey, that makes it even harder for you. You got to know on the fly how to set up.
She's all around the place too. She just flutters around whenever she's at a show. Like you'll just see her in one area, and then like 10 minutes later, she'll be like all the way elsewhere. And it's just like, whoa.
You gotta move around a lot.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You have the telephoto lens, or are you like right up in their face?
Depends on the venue.
Okay.
Most of the time, I'll be like right up in the front. Not every venue has a photo pit, so usually from the photo pit, you're right up front.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of, and again, we're talking all Chicago stuff on today's podcast mostly. But like at Metro, do they have? I know they got like a mosh pit, but they have an area for.
It's like that
Photographer?
barricade, like right in the front,
There is
and
one.
then
Okay.
there's that small little space, and then the stage.
Oh, okay. So there is a
Yeah.
little area.
Yeah,
Okay.
and not every venue has that, which is fine, but it just makes it a little bit more challenging.
I'm
Larger
like-
places like arena shows, like you need that telephoto lens.
Yeah, I mean arenas. That's a whole different ball game, is it not? I guess that's a big
Yes.
crew of people, I would think too.
Have you shot at United?
I've not done United Center yet.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully.
Well, this is your chance to hire her for United.
It's a big venue. I mean, you'll probably have to have a couple of people, obviously, there. No, they do. They have a big crew. I've seen the people that work there at some of these concerts. That's what I'm thinking of. But were you one of them? I wasn't sure. I wanted to ask you on the air.
Not
Not at United Center.
I've done Allstate Arena.
Oh,
very
that's
nice.
big too, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A lot of work goes into that. You see like all the pieces like coming together, the big puzzle, like just so many people working behind the scenes.
I
The
bet.
days it takes to build the stages,
Yes,
like
there's
all those.
so much work. That
Were
goes
you
into
with the
that.
team for that one? I'm thinking you would be. Had to be more than one.
I'm still just with the press.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So just everybody random. You weren't sharing photos necessarily. For like you have your album. Oh, can I borrow that shot? I thought they do that a lot, courtesy or whatever they call it. Or you don't have that.
No, I guess it really depends on the band and the venue. Some of them have their own specific contracts that you have to sign where they might want your photos and things like that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
No, that's a special deal you got to make.
Yeah, I think that's something else.
Okay.
Who did you shoot at Allstate?
I shot 3 different bands. The first one I did was through Rock the Beat. It was a band called Hombres G, which is a Latin rock band.
I actually think they played in Aurora recently.
I
think I saw.
know about that.
Oh, really?
I can't comment on that. I've never heard of them. So
I don't know. Like,
There was like a festival that went on.
Really?
Yeah, and they had like a lot of Spanish bands play at that outdoor sort of theater in Aurora.
Maybe. I know, like, I didn't know the band. I was filling in for someone else, but I guess they're a really big band in Spain, I think.
Oh, really?
I was told they're like the Beach Boys of Spain.
Right on.
It was like, that place was like packed.
Popping.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
solid. That's cool.
Yeah, like I didn't know what was going on, but everyone was really enjoying themselves. It was really fun.
So you've been there 3 separate times then?
2 separate. One was that band. The
Okay.
last one I did was Incubus and Coheed and Cambria.
Oh,
my
nice.
That
goodness,
was also
nice.
fun.
Who did you like shooting for better action wise?
Action wise, Coheed.
Oh,
I mean, they're
really?
they're running around a lot more on the stage.
I didn't know that. I would have guessed Incubus.
Me too.
Just because like the singer seems like he's like.
Oh, he was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
He was.
Don't they jump off the
fantastic.
stage, or maybe he doesn't at United? I mean,
I
at
do.
Allstate, but probably not at Allstate. So okay, for that one, how do you get tied into work with them? Is it through another agency or something?
So that was through Concert Crap.
Okay.
So basically,
Oh, Concert Crap. I thought you
Yes.
said Concert Crab. That was
Concert
I was-
Crab.
No, like, see-
I guess that makes sense.
Am I hearing it right? Maybe I'm not hearing it right. Are you saying craft or crap?
Crap.
I did hear it right.
I heard crab. Okay.
The audience probably is like, "What's wrong with these guys today? Their ears are all messed up." Mario thinks that she was talking about somebody totally different. I'm thinking Bob Dylan. Anyway, I'm still thinking Bob Dylan now. You got me in the. I don't know. Anyway,
He's gonna be jamming Bob Dylan the whole way home because of this
but
conversation.
sorry. Anyway,
And
back
then he's
to
gonna
you.
look up Bob Dylan.
Very different.
We're-
Very different.
We're speaking with Mary Sunde, by the way. She's a photographer of a lot of cool bands. That's what we're talking about here. Not Bob, okay?
What about Bob?
Oh, jeez. One of my favorite movies, actually. Anyway, so those are, for not being necessarily all you're doing for your craft, and you got other, like a day job, that's pretty impressive.
I'm very burnt out.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. 'Cause, I mean, that
Pretty
was-
much all the artists in Chicago. There.
Yeah, it's just like every other musician and artist out there, very burnt out.
I mean, it sounds like you don't sleep. You just work
No.
7 days a week. Because a lot of times these bands are doing like Wednesday, Thursday nights. They're not just doing weekends.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's showbiz.
Again, look, everybody, because this is on YouTube. One of these cameras, I don't know this one and that one.
Is that one there? Oh, you're pointing at that. Okay.
You can call, and get in touch with Mary, and she'll photograph your band for you. So anyway, so back to the story. So you guys were talking about Incubus, and I was wondering if they jumped off the stage. You were saying something else. Go ahead.
So he did not while I was there. So typically how most venues are is you can only shoot the first 3 songs.
Oh,
And
okay.
then you are escorted out.
Okay, I
So
didn't know
if
that
he
at
jumped
all.
off the stage, very possible, but I did not catch that.
Did he wish I was there?
He certainly did.
Okay.
Well, what I'm saying is he probably didn't do it. He probably didn't do it at Allstate anyway. That's the way they've got the stage up pretty high.
That might
It's not
have
like the
hurt.
local bars. So
Yeah.
Joe mentioned earlier Valley Doyle. That that's a local West Suburban, kind of a smaller.
Yeah, there's
and
two. Yeah,
there's one in Aurora too.
Yeah, but the Aurora one isn't very popular for music. I wish they were. They have like a couple cover bands come through. They had an open mic, but every now and then it gets canceled. But
I only
that's
know
where I met her at Bell&Company.
I only know him from the casino because I go there before or after the casino.
The Downers Grove one's really, really fun. I've played a lot of cool shows there. There's definitely been some, and it's always got a built-in crowd pretty much. So definitely bound to have a good night.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up what you were, what band that was at Primal Moon, or what were you doing there?
That was Brojack. That's my acoustic duo with
Don't
Jack
you listen?
Acquaintance.
I'm repeating for the audience because I'm probably confusing everybody. We're talking about all these different things. Again, this is our guest Mary, and we keep talking about all this other stuff. We got to get back to her. But you like Valley Doyle? That's another one in the suburbs of Chicago.
I don't go there very often, but yeah, it's a nice place.
It's
They
a little
have
more
fun
than
of
It's
it.
like a restaurant.
It is.
and
It's a
has,
bar,
like, small
restaurant.
little stage.
Irish bars, so they got their Guinness and other Irish beers.
It's a pretty tight space. There's always a built-in crowd. The lighting for photos, it's not as, because it's more like a restaurant venue.
Right,
Yeah.
and I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why you killed it at House Pub, and you killed it at but you still killed it at anywhere you've shot. You're good. So what makes you choose those angles?
That's what Joe's reading my mind. I was going to ask you the same thing. Go ahead, answer that.
You're just in the right place at the right time.
I guess so. I just like to move around a lot. That way, if something interesting is happening, especially if it's a band I've seen several times before,
You'll know.
you
how
kind
the
of know
movement's
what they're
going.
about to do.
Yeah.
And then you could be ready in that one space for that. Just jumping off the stage.
I mean,
yeah, you always got the jumps right on. I was like, yes.
I mean, there's so many. I mean, how far in advance are you getting scheduled? Because there's always something going on every night in the Chicago area. You don't have to travel, actually.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes I'm hired months ahead of time. Sometimes it might be a week or the night before.
What about tonight? Are you going somewhere after this to
I'm
shoot?
going to bed.
Oh, okay. Not tonight. All right.
Not
No
tonight.
bands tonight. That's funny.
How many you got this week?
Upcoming. So I have one next Saturday,
Okay.
which it's called Hoof. It's a music festival in Blue Island, Blue Island Beer Company. Hoof stands for Hands Off Our Fest. It's
I heard of it.
Yeah,
yes,
I saw that.
everyone should go. I'm plugging that in right now.
Go ahead, say it again. That
It's
H.
Hoof, HOOF, Hands Off Our Fest.
Got it.
I saw you promoting that a little bit.
Yeah, I'm helping promote that with Birdie from Sweetie. She puts on the whole thing. She put so much work into this.
Wow.
And Dying Scene's helping out a bit too to help promote it.
That's
Again,
epic.
suburb of Chicago, Blue Island, Illinois, South Suburb.
It's on Saturday. I think it starts at 2 p.m. You can get tickets online. Sweetie's playing, Daddy's Sisters, Sparkling Urbana, all these different local bands from the area.
Nice.
There's going to be comedy, a drag show, someone doing tattoos.
Is it a one-day festival?
It's a one-day thing.
Okay.
That
Yes.
sounds like a wicked event.
It does.
It is this Saturday.
So if they want info on that, they can probably. Well, I bet you they have a Facebook page or
They
something,
do, yes. Facebook, Instagram.
and it's the Hoof HOOF Festival.
Yes.
See, I heard that one, Joe.
And if your car breaks down, you could hoof it.
Yeah, I go hoof it to the festival. Again, that's not what it stands for, but anyway, but that's pretty cool. There's a lot of festivals, man. You literally probably wouldn't need the health care if you really wanted to do everything that's going on. You know that? Even in the winter. It's more fun in the summer, probably.
It's definitely more fun in the summer. But just like most artists, getting really paid as much as you should be getting paid. And
True.
it's just kind of how it is. Most of the time, it's a labor of love. Like a lot of these big shows, like the Lorena shows, I'm not getting paid.
Oh, I was just going to say, you mean for
Yeah.
you too as a photographer or the bands? But you're saying for the
Well,
photographer.
yeah, I mean, the bands aren't getting paid enough either.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
definitely not. They get most of their money in merch now.
Yeah.
That's the sad reality.
Speaking of that, we're one of these days we'll have some ourselves. Speaking of merch, but anyway, and she's going to help us do the photos for it. But so back to that festival. But you will probably be there the whole day doing all the bands then.
I will be there whole day doing the bands, having a good time.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh, that's a good resume builder right there. And does she travel around too? Because I can't say I know that it's a traveling, but it's just a once a year thing.
This is just a once a year thing. It started last year at the same place. But yeah, it should be a good time. Just kind of helps promote like
Another friend
local
of mine,
like punk scene.
Anthony, I think was involved with that. He was one of like the coordinators or like maybe the musical guy, like the tech guy behind the scenes. Because I know about it, but I thought this was like the third or fourth year. But you're saying it's only year 2 then?
No, at least for Hoof.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they have a couple fests at that. brewery.
There's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
couple different things that go on and
In Blue Island?
Blue Island.
Yeah, Blue
there's-
Island is actually like kind
it's
of a little,
poppin'.
yeah.
have you played there?
Yeah, I played a block party there.
Okay.
It was
Party.
fun.
Not a bar though, but still.
No,
Okay.
it was a pretty fun block party, and we did not expect to sing the I wanna wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh.
But we got requested that, and it was the middle of the
that's
summer.
interesting.
Yeah.
Spanish music for Christmas time. That's cool.
Yeah, I had to.
Well,
Definitely look up the
block party,
lyrics.
they get a little crazy towards the end, right?
Yeah.
It sounds like that was a Spanish group too, probably.
There was a good amount of Spanish people. The Blue Island is a pretty diverse town, and it's fun to shoot in.
Mhm.
I bet you have a lot of cool shots there.
So-
How's the lighting there for you?
Yeah, is that going to be outside or inside?
I'm not entirely sure. I think it might be inside and outside.
Oh.
That I do not know. I was not able to go last year. It was way too close to Riot Fest, and you need a lot of recovery time after.
After Riot Fest.
So I was not able to go.
They
last
moved it
year.
up a week or two now because Riot Fest.
So was Riot Fest? Where was Riot Fest this year?
It was in Douglas Park.
Okay,
They brought
last
it-
year was SeatGeek, right?
No,
No,
so
they
it was
brought
a
it
whole
back.
thing. It was gonna be
In SeatGeek.
at
Yeah.
SeatGeek this year,
Yeah.
Okay.
but then they moved it back to Douglas Park.
I think it's just a lot harder for people to get to SeatGeek just because it's a suburb.
It
you know?
is.
I don't know. It's
like-
right off of Harlem Avenue. It was pretty major.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
55.
Don't have
They don't
cars.
know
Yeah,
that.
like
transportation on
public
train
transportation.
or
Oh, well,
CTA.
there's the Harlem bus, but I don't know how far down it goes. I think it goes down there. Pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that would,
But does it
that
run
would
at night?
definitely clog all their system for the entire
Well, does it
day.
run late at night too? That would be the other problem. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's Douglas Park. That's like this. That's what is that? Humboldt Park area of the city, I think, of Chicago. I forget where it is.
Yeah, somewhere
Garfield
around there.
Park.
Yeah,
But anyway,
close to
the
there.
complaint was, I remember the old mayors. That's why they tried to move it because of the way they damaged like the trees and the grass and just everything around. Like they just trash it completely. But I guess they figured out.
They always put a lot of money into repairing all that stuff after
Yeah,
the festival.
I guess.
So they leave it like how they found it, if not maybe better. I don't know, but like I know
They must not have done the grass because that was the big complaint. I remember because I heard all about it on the news. I'm like, you're gonna move Riot Fest, and they were like,
it
yeah.
was a big deal, and me personally, like I was happy it moved because it was closer to me, and I had like you could park there. They had parking, whereas this year. When they went back to Douglas Park, they didn't
It's
have
tough.
that. Yeah, it's a little harder, but
Oh, I
just
would
the
say, yeah.
commuting, which was it was
West
fun.
Side.
Did you get to see the butter statue of John Stamos?
I did.
Is that was at Riot Fest,
was
wasn't
at
it?
Riot Fest this year. It was magnificent.
Did you get some pictures, some good ones?
I did, yes.
Awesome.
Of course.
That's so epic that they made a butter statue.
I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize they actually did it for real, but it was
That's
actually,
Riot Fest for
there.
you. They'll do it.
They will do it. You make a joke out of it, they'll do it for real.
Well, I mean, he wasn't appearing there in any band, right?
No.
Because he tours with the Beach Boys.
No, he tours with Jesse and the Rippers. Okay.
Okay. Oh, well, maybe them too. Whatever. Okay. No, it's seriously. He sits in. I don't know what he does.
yeah,
with,
he does. He
with
does.
the Beach Boys, or he did. Maybe he doesn't do it anymore. But anyway.
I think he still does on occasion.
So, I mean, I don't know if you get to hear all the gossip when you go to all these bars and festivals, all like stuff like that. Why was there a John Stamos butter statue?
I think that's just a running joke they always have every year. It was like they always try to get him to go there, and he's just like, "No, I'm not going
Oh.
At least that's from my understanding. I could be totally wrong, but I know it's a yearly joke.
I mean, that would make sense that they're just kind of like, hey, trying to, if you're not coming, we'll have a butter statue.
Yeah.
of you.
Now he's probably worried if I go there, something bad's gonna happen.
They attacked his butter statue. No, actually, they did, but that's a whole nother story.
Hey, they had a lot of bread that was going on butter.
Yeah, right. Funny. Where's my drum? I don't have it. Wait, you guys are in the band. Where's the drum cymbal? Anyway,
I'm a singer, that's all I do.
So
Don't give me a drum.
if somebody wants to find Mary and book you for a band shoot or whatever, just to shoot for something, where are they going to find you?
VacantEraPhotography.com, Instagram, Vacant Era Photography, Facebook, same thing, all the same thing.
So all the social medias,
All
or
the
most
social
of them at least.
medias, yeah.
Okay.
You can find a lot of her pictures on Dying Scene as well.
Dying Scene, Concert Crap.
Concert Crab.
Wait, what was the first one? Concert Crap, and what's the other one? What's the first one?
Dying Scene.
Oh, gotcha.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm looking forward to being in an event where you're the photographer. Can you get us in backstage? To meet the bands and stuff.
That's a
There's
little
some things
hard.
I can't even get.
Wait, can I do like the Three Stooges? Press. I'll just get the thing off of the machine.
I can tell you, it's not as exciting as you would think back there.
Yeah,
It's really not.
Everyone's working really hard. Some people are sleeping. It's a hard job.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I'm sure it is. I'm thinking there's some extra things to stimulate back there too, like alcohol and other things, but maybe not. They're too busy
That'll
working.
definitely slow down a stimulation.
Yeah, I guess I would. But
Unless you're drinking the Red Bulls with it.
I'm saying the bands are doing it, not necessarily the photographers. But you don't go. You don't get in with the parties with them afterward. Then
It depends. Depends on the band, really. Yeah, but all the times I've been back there, it's been pretty chill, and everyone's just kind of tired. So,
Yeah.
and I
Oh, no
felt
party.
that.
Everybody's going back
I
to their
felt that.
hotel or their van or whatever their bus.
They got to get ready to go to the next show.
Yeah,
It's
true.
definitely a job.
So wait a minute.
Or get ready to go to their day job if they are local.
All of this stuff about everybody having the wild parties, maybe that's not the thing. Huh?
Oh, I mean, people have parties in the scene, but I mean, it's not as crazy as everybody makes it. Most people are tired.
I don't know.
She says.
I'm thinking about like the Rolling Stones. I'm thinking
Maybe
Aerosmith.
back then, I don't.
Well, that's because they had excessive money,
Yeah.
excessive time, and rock was a bigger art form back then, and they made a lot more off of it.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
That was their. I guess what you're saying is they were getting more money from the album company. They were touring, get money from that. They didn't have to worry about going to the day job or the next
easier than
event.
being your whole marketing team. A lot of bands
Mhm.
these days are pretty much everything.
I thought they just party on the bus though. Like a lot of these bands probably don't have buses then because they're
a lot
more
of them are
local.
just dead by the end of the show because
Yeah.
everybody
You
puts
mean-
their all into
You
it.
mean Brojack and Prowl Moon didn't have a touring bus?
No.
I mean, I'm not joking at this point. I'm seriously asking. Don't they have you do like a pre-show thing where you would go like backstage or onto their whatever? I guess maybe these bands don't have a bus, but if they did, would you be taking like behind the scenes pictures when I'm getting that?
I guess it's
Like candids.
possible. Yeah. Again, like it really depends on who I'm there for and what I'm shooting. Sometimes I have been able to go backstage and just kind of take some candid shots of them, or if it's like an interview kind of thing, get some shots of them before that.
That's what I'm getting at. I figured that
Yeah.
there'd be some there, but again, maybe some of the venues they don't want you to just come take your
Yeah.
shots, and like you said, you leave after what'd you say, 3 songs or something?
Yeah, most of the time, if it's not just a local show and they have like rules, every band is different, every venue is different. But typically it's always like the first 3 songs you could shoot for, and then you either have to leave or you have to put your camera away or you just can't take it back out, but you could still watch the rest of the show. It just really depends on
Wow.
where you're at.
I've learned a lot today because I've never really paid attention, but now I'm going to. I want to go to the show that you're at to see what's going on. That's pretty awesome. Well, it's really cool having you here, Mary. Thanks for coming in. And again, one more time, the name of your company.
Vacant Era Photography.
Got it. And they'll find They'll find her on all of the social medias. It's not most of them, at least
Most of
Facebook,
them.
Instagram. Those are the big ones, right?
Yeah.
We don't need TikTok.
I don't TikTok. It's okay.
Yeah, we don't not to contact you.
I don't like taking the talk either. It's just kind of like I can't do the whole scroll.
I mean,
down
it's
the screen
it's cool, but I mean, for business, I could see Facebook making the most sense. So you're in the right spot. And it was great having you. Thanks for coming in. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much
it.
for
It was a really
having me.
interesting story, and thanks for coming out. Nice meeting you. And speaking of entertainment, we always have this gentleman on with us. Here, let me make sure we can hear him. Joining the show now to talk about speaking of venues, now he's not talking about music so much. He's more into the theater stuff, but he's got a few other things that he'll tell us about. Let's welcome Rich G of TSP Productions. Hey, Rich.
Hey, Mario, and all you sweet people there having such fun.
We got Libby,
Hey.
Joe, and Mary.
I'm just checking in for a minute here, Mario, to let the folks know about some of the neat theater that's going on in Chicago. Some of the great plays that are going on that are highly recommended.
Let's hear it.
Myself and my
You're
reviewers.
the entertainment concierge, but we're gonna focus on some plays tonight.
Yeah, let's quickly tell you about a couple of them.
Yeah.
First of all, let's start with downtown Chicago. You know, there's over 200 theaters now functioning in Chicago. So let's start with a few of them in Chicago, some of the neater ones, some of the great shows that are there now, right now, that are always doing great things. Like at the Netherlander Theater, that's in the heart of the loop, it's part of Broadway in Chicago. They're doing Some Like It Hot.
Oh, that's a
Great
classic one.
show, highly recommended.
Which one is Harry Potter at again?
Harry Potter is at the
You're throwing him off there, Joe. He's in the middle.
Oh, sorry, I threw off the list.
Joe's right. I'm sorry. The Netherlander has Harry Potter, and that's going to run till February.
Okay, I was confused because I was looking at
Go at
it.
the Cadillac Palace or something like it hot.
That's what I thought. Good thing Joe's paying
They're
attention.
within blocks of each other, by the way.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay, so in any
Yeah, they
event-
are.
So in any event, they're both great shows. Then you've always got Steppenwolf. That's the world's greatest ensemble theater, by the way. I think they have over 50 members in their ensemble. They're doing some wonderful stuff, and they've got some new people that are doing shows there.
Wicked.
Like,
What's playing there?
well, let's first of all give you a couple of things that are playing there.
Oh.
Let me get a little bit more organized here. And I'll tell you about.
Well, he's looking at. There was one that I just got to see, and he'll probably talk about it. But I was really impressed. Is Genesee Theater up north? Again, we're all about Chicago area. This show, but it's up in Waukegan, and I was very impressed with them. I think it was just a one night only deal, but the Genesee Theater is great. I mean, there's another one in the western suburbs that looks similar, and there's another one in Des Plaines. But I really like the Genesee, and they had the ABBA tribute from London, and it was really good. Oh, it was great again at the Genesee. But I'm sure I know I got ahead of you, but as long as I'm talking about it now, I'm going to throw you off the Genesee Theater. I'm sure we got some big stuff coming there.
Oh, there's always something going on in Genesee, but it's not always theater. It's mostly individual acts. I am the entertainment concierge. I'm not just a theater critic. I also do other events. I do all the sporting events, and I think that's going on in Chicago.
Obviously, play. Oh, yeah, that's true. That was more of a musical, or that was actually no. That was just them performing like a what do you call it? A tribute band, I guess, is what they are.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's ABBA. It's cool stuff.
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, no, you
Here I
know what
go
was weird
again.
about that? They started off with that song. I would think they would end with Mamma Mia, but whatever. That's not important. But
Was at least Dancing Queen had to be
they
Yeah,
did. They had it.
Well, let's get back to a couple of shows
Yeah.
over at the Steppenwolf.
Yeah, back to Steppenwolf.
Back to Steppenwolf. Into the Woods. Stephen Sondheim's wonderful
Very nice.
musical. Into the Woods is over at the Steppenwolf Theater. And
They always
Oh
have.
my God.
They have more than one, right? Playing. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They've got 3 stages, as a matter of fact, that they can do things on.
Well, dang.
And I've had a very rough day.
It's Sunday. You've been out all week. We're talking about going. Our guest was Mary Sunde. We're talking about going to all these venues, and she's a photographer for them for the band. You're going to all these plays and shows, right, Rich? Or at least following them. Maybe
Sorry
not
about
going
the
to
rough
them.
day, though. That's not fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's tough to keep when you see as many shows as I've seen, Mario. Sometimes it's tough to just remember what theater you're in. You're in a different world than the theater world.
Well, we happen to be live. Obviously, this goes to a podcast, everything afterwards, and a YouTube video. But we are live on a Sunday night, Rich. We're in the Chicago suburbs, and you're talking about the entertainment in Chicago. So there you go. Are you all right? Now we got back on track.
Well, we'll start with Chicago because I consider all the suburbs part of Chicago anyway, especially in the theater world.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I brought up Waukegan. So where you want to go next?
Well, we go to Skokie. Let's go to Skokie to the Music Theater Works. That's in the Center of Performing Arts in Skokie. They do wonderful things up there. They're just finishing one show and then they're going to start another very shortly.
I think we saw Avenue Q there. Wasn't that Avenue Q, Libby?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Oh, I've seen many wonderful shows at that theater. I happen to love it. Let's see. I'll tell you in a second. No, Leroy and Lucy is at the Steppenwolf. That's a world premiere that they're bringing in and it's going to run until December.
Got it. We're back.
It'll open in November.
Back at the Steppenwolf again. Okay.
Yeah. And let's just tell you about what's going on at the Music Theater Works, for example. You've got
we bounce around to all of them.
Horrors.
Go ahead. What was that?
Little Shop of Horrors. That's an old favorite. The Little Shop of Horrors.
I really just if I ever got in the play, I'd just jump into it. Like I just want it.
You jump into the.
I want
the
Seymour.
plant.
I want to feed Seymour.
You do? Feed me, Seymour. You know, every
volunteer
time.
sacrifice.
Every time I hear people talk about that, I always think of Little Shop of Horrors, not Horrors. But anyway, that's another story. So anyway, that's
Yeah,
it. Where is Little Shop of Horrors playing again? Go ahead.
What movie is this?
You've got several Sondheim wonderful shows going on right now, too.
Where's Little Shop of Horrors? We cut you off. Where's that at?
That's at the Music Theater Works at the Center of Performing Arts in Skokie.
Got it. All right, we're bouncing around a little bit today, Joe.
And that's Little Shop of Horrors. That is going to open next week, as a matter of fact.
And Joe's going to jump in the plant.
You know, if I could get past security, I think I might try.
Two other things to mention.
Sure.
First of all, Chopin Theater is doing wonderful shows. They've got the Golden Girls Meet Scooby. They've got Sondheim's beloved musical.
That's downtown, right? We're bouncing back into Chicago
it's
City.
Actually it's their division at Milwaukee.
Okay, but that's in Chicago, though.
Oh, it's definitely in Chicago.
Yeah.
What do you got
I'll
for?
get back to the suburbs in a second.
Do you go to Drury Lane at all?
Oh, sure, Drury Lane and Oakbrook, and of course they do wonderful work at Drury Lane.
Yeah, I just passed it.
I'll tell you, and another in Aurora, there's some wonderful theaters too.
Oh, Joe's from there.
The Paramount Theater in Aurora is terrific.
Never been.
Oh, you got to. It's as good as they get.
One of the guys next week is actually the head of digital graphics there.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk to him about getting us in there. See some plays. Or Rich could send us down there too. Yeah, Rich has got the hookup. I mean, he only does a few on, in the little time we have on the air. But if you need to get a hold of Rich, you definitely can. It's TSP Productions. He's your entertainment concierge. And you can reach him at 312-661-1975. I just wanted, before we forgot to get that out. Again, that's 312-661-1975. And he'll hook you up. Right, Rich?
You betcha. And in Aurora, by the way, you got the Copley Theater now. They do some wonderful stuff. They're an offshoot. It's part of the Paramount.
That's across the street, right?
Oh, Copley, and it's right across the street from the Paramount.
Yeah. Downtown Aurora is becoming the thing. They're getting rid of this casino and they're putting in all this stuff.
It's going to be popping.
Oh, yeah, well, that's right in the casino area, too.
Yeah, well, they're moving it. Not yet, but they are eventually.
Let's see. I should go. Let me just say that there's a wonderful theater in Chicago, and Chicagoland, because I consider the suburbs all as part of Chicago.
Oh yeah, Aurora, Waukegan, they're all Chicago suburbs. Chicagoland, as we like to say, if you're from the area. For people not listening to Chicago. Today's show is all about Chicago, though. Everything Chicago today.
You got Cinderella at the Metropolis in Arlington Heights. You've got two theaters, one in St. Charles and another in Des Plaines. The Arcada in St. Charles, by the way.
Yeah.
Look at all these theaters, Joe. Do you photograph some of these? Probably you do, right, Mary? You've been to some of these?
I've been to some of them, but I haven't photographed a play.
Oh.
It's not on the list yet.
No, I mean for bands there.
Might have to get you a Christmas Carol.
Writers Theater in Glencoe is doing Natasha Pierce and the Great Comet of 1812. That's a great little theater, by the way. Writers Theater.
Yeah, say that. What's the name again?
The Writers Theater is in Glencoe.
Glencoe, gotcha. Yeah, some of these are actually venues that they do have bands too, like the one I went to, Genesee's. They've got everything:
Oh, yeah,
plays,
I've heard of them.
musicals.
I have shot at the Rouse Center in Crystal Lake.
Oh yeah, Rich, you know about
cool.
that one in Crystal Lake.
No.
You don't know that one? Oh my gosh, we stumped Rich on one.
When I get in that area, I go boating.
It's it. Holy cow! She's got one that you don't know. Is that a small little like?
No, the route's pretty nice, ain't it?
Yeah, it does a lot of theater, a lot of musicians.
Huh. Okay, Rich, we got another venue for you to get shows at, or talk about shows from, I should say.
Tons of shows. Okay, guys, let me just say, hey, old bean and you too, baby. This is Rich, your entertainment concierge. Signing off until next time. Stay healthy. Enjoy the weather. Enjoy the shows. And go Bears.
Yeah.
Go Bears! They won like 35 to something. I didn't see the final score. All right,
rock,
thanks,
Rich.
Thanks again, Rich. We'll talk to you next week. That's Rich, TSP Productions, your entertainment concierge, and you can hear him right here on Bell&Company, as well as all the cool guests like we just had right with us today. Thank you, Mary Sunde, for coming. It was nice having you.
So
I definitely
cool
want to see you at one of these bands venues with the bands when you're photographing them. And thanks again to Libby, of course, for being here, and Joe for booking the guest and being with us. Everybody have a great rest of the weekend. And again, see us on the podcast. Take care. Bye now.
Great west of the weekend.
What's left? Bye. I think Rich was losing his voice there. We can't interrupt him.